This is a pretty exciting activity. We want to look at the relationship between an environmental issue, which is basically CO2 emissions, and human development. We will not be using the traditional indicator that is mostly used, which is GDP. We will be using Human Development Index, Inequality Adjusted Human Development Index, and Augmented Human Development Index, and we will compare the Human Development Index to the consumption-based CO2 emission per capita. We'll grab the data from the website of our World in Data. I've already opened the website, so copy this, paste it, and we'll use it for it. You'll see how to download the data, and you can use it for some of your other projects. So let's go to the website. All what you need to do is to paste it here, as I did. Then we'll start downloading the different data sets. I'll take this as the first one. What you need to do, very important to follow strictly, click on table. Once you do that, you come on the download icon here below on your right. You'll see there is a CSV data set. Click the download icon here and it will download it into your download folder. I'll click outside to unselect it. Go on the next one, the Inequality Adjusted Human Development Index. I'll come here, click on table, click on the download icon, and click here to download it. Then we'll go next to Augmented Human Development Index. Come here, click on the table, click on the download icon, download it. It will drop it in your download folder. And finally, we want to go all the way down where we have the interactive charts. Scroll, looking for CO2. And here we go, consumption-based CO2 emission. I'll click on it. And it's going to open it here. Then I'll click on table, click on the download icon, click on the download icon here to download all of those 4 data sets into my download folder. Now the next thing we want to do is to open a blank Microsoft Excel workbook. And import the data into it using Power Query. So I'll go to data, go to get data, file. We know it's a CSV file, and you have the 4 data sets. I'll import each of them, clean them, and then we can start having fun with it. Click on Human Development Index, click import, transform data, go and get the next one, click on new source, file, text CSV, take the next one, okay, we see 2 of them, it actually states 2. Go and get the next one, text CSV, here, okay, the next one, new source, file, text CSV, and there we go. So basically we should have all of our 4 data sets here. So let's start with the first one. We just want to make sure it's in the, we'll check the data types and then get rid of what we don't need. So here we have the different regions. I'm going to double click here to change it to region. Hit enter. I want to choose the G7 countries. Click the drop down. Click load up more. Uncheck everything and choose G7. I'll start with Canada, which is the first G7 country. Go all the way to France, Germany, scroll to Italy, Japan, and go all the way to United Kingdom, United States. Okay. Click here, right click, get rid of the quotes, we don't need it. And here we have HDI. I can actually change the name of this particular thing to HDI. So I'll come here and just say HDI, knowing we are dealing with Human Development Index, and also come here, double click HDI. You can write it somewhere so that you don't forget. So everything is fine. This is ABC. We are dealing with text. This is 1 to 3, whole number, 1.2, decimal. So this table is perfect. We'll go to the next one, the IHDI. So the Inequality Adjusted Human Development Index. You can come here, change it to IHDI, hit enter to change the name. You can see the name also changes here. Come here, double click IHDI, hit enter, and then we want to also come here, double click, change to region, hit enter. We want to choose the G7 countries, click the drop down, load more, and check everything, and then scroll to Canada, go to France, Germany, Italy, Japan, and finally United Kingdom, United States. Okay. Click on code, right click, remove to get rid of it. ABC 1 to 3, 1.2, perfect. We go to the next one. The Augmented Human Development Index, come here and select everything. AHDI, hit enter. You see it has changed everything. Come here, double click. AHDI, hit enter. Now we come, double click here, region, and then click the drop down, click load more, uncheck everything, scroll to start selecting Canada, go down to France, Germany, scroll to Italy, Japan, and then finally we get United Kingdom, United States. Okay, click on code, right click, remove. Well, you just hit remove, delete on your keyboard. Click here, right click, remove. ABC 1 to 3, 1.2, everything is perfect. The last one, we want to look at CO2 versus Human Development Index. So I'll come here, select it, just put CO2 underscore VS underscore HDI, hit enter, and where are we? Here, double click, put region. This one is a bit complex, but we'll play with it and we'll still win. Click the drop down, load, click, select all to uncheck everything. We want the G7 countries, so we'll start with Canada, go down to France, Germany, continue to Italy, Japan, and go all the way down to United States and UK. Okay, then click here, right click, delete it. We don't want that. We have the year, we have a capital CO2, so we'll double click here and just put CO2. Come here, HDI, and we don't need the population, so right click, remove, continent, right click, remove, we don't need it. Okay, now let's check the data type. ABC, year 1.2, CO2 is ABC. So this is not proper. If it's ABC, it means we have text. This will cause problems. So you click on ABC, you want to change it to decimal number, you click there, and this is 1.2, 1.2, perfect. Now the last thing we want to do we want to adjust this here. If you do not adjust it, you will get into real trouble. So click the drop down. You can see that you have 0, 100. You have all sorts of things which makes no sense. You have negative here. This makes no sense. So you want to filter the number. You want it to go from 1990 all the way to 2022. So we'll come here and say number filter. We want number filter, we'll take between. Okay, we'll click between. We want to take dates which are between. So we want it is greater than or equal to. What do we want greater than or equal to? I will say 1990. And it's less than or equal to, I'll say 2022. Okay, then I'll OK. To make sure our data set is within that range so as to get rid of all the zeros and the minuses. So if you scroll here, you will not see any minus in the data set. You'll see everything will be within that deadline we've provided, which completely changes the game. You see 100% valid, 100 valid, 100 valid, 100 valid. Perfect. We are done with cleaning and arranging our data. We go to home, go to close and load to, and we want to close and load to the table. Well, okay. Now, once we have that, the next thing we want to do now is to generate pivot tables. So the first one we'll start with HDI. HDI, just make sure you click anywhere inside, go to insert, pivot table, from table range, okay, and here you want region where you have columns, here where you have rows, HDI here, and then you can change this to average, but it really doesn't matter because it's per year. You don't have more than one value in a year for it to sum it. Now we don't want this grand total, so go to design, click on grand total, off for row, and then click anywhere inside, pivot table analyze, pivot chart, align, okay. The next thing you want to do is to get rid of this empty space. We want it to start from 0.75. Click there, right click, format axis, and then we want it to 0.75, hit enter, and then increase the size of your chart so that you can see it clearly. Voila, you can see what's going on with the Human Development Index. So you can compare it for the different countries, look at the trends, look at what's going on from year to year. Which country is doing well or doing poorly. So you can double click here, change it into pivot. Actually, we will do something interesting. We'll put everything into one chart. So we want to create a second pivot table, which we'll put here. We are going to insert it where we have 40. Okay. So the next thing, we've already done HDI. The next one, we want to do iHDI. So click there. Make sure you click anywhere inside. Insert, pivot table, from table range. And now we'll click existing worksheet. We'll go to where we have pivot, click on it. You can see it appear there. And we want to take this space. I'll click there so you can see. This is A40. So you have pivot A40. So if it looks like that, do OK. Then you have your pivot here. Now we are going to build our next pivot. Region under columns, year under rows, iHDI under values, and we get rid of the totals. You go to design, go to grand total, click off, click anywhere here, go to pivot table analyze, pivot chart, take the lines, OK, increase the size. So here I want it to start from 0.76. So click there, right click, format axis 0.76, hit enter, and there you go. So you can have it here, and you can see what's the difference between the Human Development Index and Inequality Adjusted Human Development Index for the different G7 countries. Read that website. They are well in data to be able to interpret it properly. Now the next one, we want to put it somewhere around here. So we want to put the AH, the adjusted. So click here, and the augmented human development. I'll click there, click anywhere here. Now it's important, you can see it starts really far away from 1817, no problem. Click anywhere inside, go to insert, go to pivot table, click here, and then click there, pivot. We want to put it from here. You can see it's pivot A60, okay. So you have the new one, take region, put it where you have region, yeah, put it where you have rows, AHDI, put it there. And we want to get rid of the grants, so you go to design, grant totals, click there to take it off, and then go to pivot table, analyze, pivot chart, take that, okay, and then you can increase the size so that you can clearly see how it looks like across time. And finally, you can send this on there. You can go to design, go to add chart element, go to legend and put it at the bottom. Then you can see whatever you can see here. Now the last one we want to examine, we'll put it from 90. We want to basically examine the relationship between CO2 and Human Development Index. Here we need to play around with a little trick in order to be able to obtain that. So here we go. We want to put it, I'll see where we have 90 there. Okay, so let's go to CO2 versus Human Development Index. I'll go to insert, pivot table, from table range, existing worksheet, click on pivot. We want to put it from 90, so you can see there, okay. And now we can scroll up, we can put region where we have columns, year where we have rows, and we'll put HDI first, CO2 second. Very important to follow that. And then there's something we need to do, very important now. I will close this. If you want to bring it back, you just click there, okay. You can get rid of it by clicking there, get rid of that too, get rid of that. This gives me space to put, first of all, my slicer. So make sure you click somewhere in there, pivot table, analyze, slicer, we want region, okay. I'll come here, I just want Canada, and then I can bring it pretty close here. So the next thing, we want to get rid of all the total, so make sure this is active, go to design, grand total off, and then we have that. Now the next thing we want to do is to make sure, just let me scroll down, look at the size of this. We basically want to use an equation to enter this thing, okay. So we'll click here, exactly the same line, but you must skip one, and we'll put equal. You just need to click here where you have sum of HDI, hit enter, and you come here, you drag it. Because the type of chart we want to generate, if you use pivot, it will not work. Let me show you. If you click here and you go to pivot table, analyze, you go to pivot chart, and you try to bring in a scatter plot, it tells you you cannot create it. but we want that scatter plot to see relationship. That's why we are bringing the same data here. And once we have that data set selected, you can just click here and drag. It means it has brought in these two data sets. We know this is for Canada. Okay, now we can generate a chart from here. So now click anywhere inside of this, go to insert, because it's no more a pivot chart, and here we want to bring in a scatter plot. We'll click here and click there. Here we go. We now have, you can put in the right title. You can say relationship between CO2. So we can say relay and HDI. Beautiful. So you can increase the size of the chart, and all what you need to do, let me move this slightly here, put this here, and we want to see what happens from one country to another. This is for Canada. If you want to see for France, just click there. Germany. You can see what happens to the quantity of CO2 as the Human Development Index increases for the different countries. That's Italy, Japan, HK, United States. Okay, do not select more than one. If you select more than one, it's just going to mess up things. We've set it up to work like this. If you do something like this, you clean it and have everything, you see that it blows everything. Okay, you don't want to do more than one. Keep selecting just one to study the relationship between that chart. Okay, so now you can write, you can compare between the different things if you want. So you can even adjust the chart. You can click there, go back to, we can just right click here on that and change series chapter. Let's see, we'll go back to scatter, and you want it to be linked. We okay, then now you will have that. So you basically want to compare what is happening to the different countries. Okay, that's it. Those are the charts you need. Go back to the website, read what it means, and then that will be it for what we want to do.